Hey Leo, welcome to Pure Tarot. So I'm doing the big question, how will you become famous? If I can even answer that through cards, but we'll try. We're gonna dive right in. I am choosing the Moonology deck. We're gonna draw one card. I'm trying to get a moon phase, some insights on how the moon could play out in you becoming famous one day. I try to go for pop-outs. If really it drags on too long, then I will pull. You've got 3 cards that came out. I'm gonna honor that. Let's see what they are. I like it. I like even the sequence of them. Okay, the first one, they came out like this. So the first one, the purple one, is the waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum, followed by the greenish one. Nothing is yet set in stone. The mutable moon. And then you have the sort of reddish one, a fiery climax approaches, and you have a full moon in Aries. I'm a little taken aback because there's 3, all the other signs only had 1. But for me, there's a crescendo, right? There's definitely, the cards came out in the perfect sequence. They're telling a story for you. So the waxing moon is right before well, I mean, it's this one is not even a first quarter moon, at least on the drawing, right? So we're at the early stages of a process, of a journey. Maybe we're at the, it's like, it feels like baby steps, but, or more like, crawling versus standing up and then starting to walk and then starting to run. So this kind of evolution, but it's a crescendo, really. I really enjoy the nothing is yet set in stone. So you still have a lot of input. You're free. Can't speak tonight. Your free will is what will determine so many things, right? It always does, but and yet you're being sort of warned in a positive sense, right? That a climax approaches and it's a full moon. So what I think is really important is it's a waxing to the full moon. So I was looking for a moon phase and we're getting a portion of the full moon phase. So it's really like after the new moon, the waxing moon is just started. And it's building up. It's almost like it's like a fruit that is ripening, right? It's even like this. I see this red apple here. So this would be the white flower on the tree. This would be when the apple is small and green because of the colors. And then this is the full apple, ripe, red, and delicious. It's gorgeous. Let's move to the Triad Oracle. It feels like the fiery climax is could be the moment where you become famous, or at least when you get a big break, like a really, like something really important. I'm sensing something you've been awaiting, right? That you've been waiting on, anticipating, yeah. Eagerly. So let's start really shuffling and see what comes out for you. I'm aiming for one card now. Do I take this one? I didn't look at the back. I'm gonna put it back. I had something similar happen. I think it was the Cancer read. And I chose to put it back. I'm waiting for a card really to come out. And no, I didn't see what it was. There. Protection. It's funny because it's written Nike. Okay, this is crazy because obviously I don't know what it means besides the brand, right? I will look that up, I promise you, but it's protection, right? This deck is in French, but it's the same word. But I have to say something about Nike. There are a lot of people that play sports, athletes that are Leo. And if you're one of them, you could sign a sponsorship deal, a lucrative one at that, with the brand, right? I mean, it's almost literal. We're only missing the swoosh. But let's get back to protection. I don't want to state the obvious because obviously the word itself says it all. I could go into, okay, you're protected by higher beings, which is true. We all are. In my beliefs are that we all are. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna draw more cards. We're gonna move to the makeshift deck. These are French keywords. I will translate. Oh gosh, let me show you. A whole bunch fell. There's 4. And there's one that is not turned. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it on the side. I'm gonna see if I take it. But let's go with oh, that's gorgeous. Jovial is jovial. It's the same word. Douceur is softness, right? Someone who'd be gentle. It's also gentleness. And neige is snow. I'm gonna take the last card. Emergence. I want to show you that softness and snow for me, I live in a country where it snows in winter, and snow is extremely soft, especially if it's not a snowstorm, and you have like these beautiful flakes falling softly and slowly. Sometimes it looks like slow motion, and you know how snow, everything, well, you might not know, but sounds get muffled, so it creates a very, very special like ambiance. And what I like is jovial, is there's a lot of for me it's like a smiling, it's uplifting. I'm gonna say it. These cards that I just drew, especially with emergence as well, like all of them, the four, I didn't say anything on protection because the four cards that are here are here to actually speak for me. I think that this joviality, the softness, the snow, is describing a being. The snow is white, so jovial is like someone that has an open heart and who's caring, and I sense to be caring. And because they're, smiling, you sense them to be receptive to you. So for me, and the emergence for me is, something emerges, just like this fruit, the apple I was describing is actually the crescendo, right? It's something that is slowly ripening, right? So emergence is the same process. It's only just coming out. So you could be coming out, not in terms of, I mean, you could be coming out in terms of your sexuality, but that's not what I'm implying here. I'm saying coming out, like the breakthrough in being famous is like a coming out. It's like suddenly people notice you. But let me go back to this being. These cards are describing the protection. So I feel there's an angel around you, and even emergence could be like the wings, because if you have wings and you can fly, you would soar. So for me, emergence is like soaring, because you lift off, right? So that's really, really beautiful. So this is like mega protection. I sense it to be very, very close, like very close to you. I have the words at arm's length. I also see the wings, sort of taking you from behind and like just holding you, wrapping you. It's a beautiful being of light. I think I'm not sure, but I want to say that fame for you it feels like it feels like it was destined. For some reason, we kind of assume, I do at least, that all famous people were destined to be famous, right? It's like I don't know, almost like a stereotype, whatever. Or maybe just a prejudice I have towards fame, who knows? But what I'm getting at is that some people work really hard, which I think is always the case. Celebrities are workaholics. But some people really become famous out of sheer hard work, right? Solely. Whereas here, it's like you're being taken by the hands, and it's very easy for you. It's interesting. I just heard the swoosh. So the easiness is like, it's just like, it's that easy, for you. I hope I'm describing this properly. It's just it's like a formality, but not even. It's just, it's fluid. It flows. And it's interesting because I talked about athletes with this Nike word here, and athletes often describe being in the zone when they perform, like especially when they score like impossible like dunks, or like at the Olympics, like particular, like when they win a certain, like a gold medal, like there's something particular happening in their performance, and it's always linked with being in the zone. Of course, there's years of preparations of preparation and hard work. I'm not discounting that, but I'm trying to emphasize that there's something else that happens. And that's what it feels like. It feels like the crescendo is a preparation phase, but it's easy. Because it's just like having to be like that flower that becomes the fruit that just ripens out of, sunshine and rain, right? Just like organically, easily, softly. And I think you're being led. You're protected, but you're being led by this being. So, of course, it could be, if you believe in angels or spirit guides or whatever you wish to believe this higher being is, but it could also be a person, right, in your life. Confirmation. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a loud noise outside about this being a person in your life, so I'm sure you would know who that is. So we're gonna go into the tarot. I'm gonna let you see the shuffle for this one. I'm gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna spread the cards afterwards. I'm gonna get, I've been getting like mini groups of cards, and then that's how I want to handle the reading. This card really wanted to come out, but I'm gonna leave it. It didn't. I sensed it to say something, but No, I didn't hear anything, but I sensed something. It's taking forever. I'm patient. This one. This one. I'm gonna leave it horizontal. And these. So, Eight of Wands, Three of Pentacles upright, Page of Swords, that Three of Swords horizontal, which I'm gonna leave it like that. You know what? Let me do this. And then these cards. It's incredible. The Ace of Cups, the Emperor, the Hermit, and Judgment. All upright. Okay, I hold on. Sorry, I want you to see. It's interesting, it didn't happen for the other signs, but I got the same number of cards on top that I do at the bottom. So I'm basically associating one card for each. And I'm really enjoying this portion here. This is incredible energy. So it's gonna be amazing to read. I can sense that. Okay. So it's incredible. It's like the cards are saying the same thing. So let me show you. This was, the energy is gaining momentum, and look how much momentum there is on the Eight of Wands, right? These arrows are quick. They're like I have the word sliver, but I don't know why. I'm being transparent here. I don't know why sliver. Something about going skin deep. Anyway, it's momentum at its best. It's totally in line with the first card. I'm even tempted to say that the Eight of Wands is actually speeding up this momentum, like in this reading, helping to even speed things up for you. And then here, nothing is yet set in stone. And the Three of Pentacles, if you know, this is a cathedral made out of stone. It's in reverse. And for me, it shows me that you could still, by saying it's not yet set in stone, so instead of lacking collaboration here and not feeling masterful or crafty or an expert at your game, you still have the possibility to turn things around, right? now I'm getting there's a strong emphasis here on speed. So knowing when to speed things up versus when to slow them down. And that's why I think Three of Pentacles is in reverse, because I told you, I sensed that these cards were being hasty and pushing and creating even more momentum for you, which I thought was a good thing. But I'm sensing that there's a resistance, but it's purposeful, and it's not your, how can I say? It's gonna sound contradictory, but bear with me. Like, hopefully you'll understand, because I'm getting two energies here. I'm getting that because we're mentioning free will here, so it's purpose. I can't say it. It's of your own doing. You're deciding to slow things down or to speed them up. So it's your choice. Yet, there's still that something else up there, whatever that energy is, that is not in charge, but kind of in charge. So it's a mix of your own free will, and it's a mix of something else intervening, quote unquote, helping you to gauge the speed at which this ripening should actually occur. Or, I don't know if I'm expressing this properly. And then the fiery climax of the full moon in Aries, we have the Page of Swords. It's not the Knight, that would have been like extra speed, right? But it's still the swords, and maybe that's why I had the word sliver. Swords are sharp, right? So slivers are pointy enough for that they actually penetrate the skin. So for me, the climax here is I'm not gonna use the typical meaning of this card, I guess. I'm sensing showing up. I mentioned the coming out, so it's like the emergence. It's like suddenly showing your face, showing up. You know, it's a card of watching, but spying, stalking. But I'm looking at the gentleman on the card, and he's coming out of the clouds. So it's like he's really he's showing up. And then here, the Three of Swords came out horizontally, and that's perfect for this reading because it falls under the protection card. And for me, it's like by being horizontal, the whole energy of this card is being neutralized by this protection. Because whether it's upright or reversed, then it's the Three of Swords with all of its signification, right? But by being placed horizontally, it's like being voided. But not void, it's just neutralized, you know? The protection is really working. It's like there's no heartbreak and there's no overcoming heartbreak, really. Or if it is the case for you on this path of becoming famous, it's almost saying to you, so I have more than one thought here. It could be, once you're famous, you will not have your heart broken. You will be protected once you reach that stage. It's one possibility. Or, and I'm not saying that you would never experience heartbreak, right? But that's my second thought here, is that you most probably have, like almost every one of us of a certain age, right? But for some reason, it's not that bad. I can't explain it otherwise than just, it's not so dramatic, it's not so drastic, it's not so damaging. Anyway, that's like the preparation. So ripening and controlling your speed, knowing when to speed up, when to slow down, maybe when to halt, all of these things. Let me get it. Now let's move on to this amazing set of cards here. So the angel is showing up. This either, I want to say either, but it's and or, so it's higher being and maybe a person in your life. And that person you would equate to being angelic to you, right? Or for you. In your eyes, they're angelic. You know, they embody all of the softness of the snow I was describing. The warm embrace of the wings I was describing earlier. So the reason I'm stopping is that I really want to get to how you become famous, right? I mean, I'm really sensing this being present. I don't know if I said they're leading you, so I believe that. But I don't know if they lead you into fame or if they just lead you for the rest of your life through fame. You know? That's where I'm not sure. One thing is for sure, the Emperor card tells me that you reach great, great heights. And I want you to know that it's very lonely at the top. But for you, being led and protected, you will never feel lonely. For one, because of great self-love and self-respect and self-esteem, which you would have, for which you have protection, right? I mean, look, you have protection against heartbreak, and you have the Ace of Cups as like a baseline for your life, right? It's incredible. It means that there's so much love in your life coming from every side. And from up above, and I want to say from down below. um, you will experience fame as a calling. You will experience fame. You will be cheered on. I mean, I'm seeing the trumpet as being, and even, you know, like, I believe it's in the Middle Ages, when the king would arrive, they would blow the horns, right? At the king's arrival, right before he reached the castle, they would blow the horn so that everyone knew the king was arriving. So that's what it feels like. Also, everyone rises to meet you. This is big fame. This is there's a lot of respect. People have a lot of respect for you. They look up to you. They will look up to you. Look, they look up. I want to say that you'll have the wisdom not to look down at them. You will have the wisdom to look straight, squarely in their eyes. And although you're an emperor, you will treat them fairly. As much as you'll have their respect, you will have respect for others. And I believe it comes from your spiritual beliefs and your own source of, I think you yourself, I think your heart is so big. I think that's why you're attracting so many people to you. You really have an incredible force field of love in it, like you were born with. Like it's, I said, instinctual, natural, or like it's not even, you don't need to learn it, work on it. It's just there for you to express, and it just pours out of you endlessly. It's really, it's crazy. The judgment is under emergence, and it's the same idea, like these people are emerging out of the coffins. You will have it. For you, fame will be a true, a rocket, like you will skyrocket. It'll be almost frightening. I mean, I don't mean to scare you by saying that, but it's like, it's so fast. Like there's something so fast. Maybe that's why you need to learn to gauge the speed, because there's something about, like, of course you're gonna want it. You're gonna want to become famous, and once it happens, you don't want to stop the thing, right? You don't want to kill it. You know what I mean? Like undo it or whatever. So, and yet when it's so fast, it's like sometimes it's either dizzying or, you know, I have the words like dropping a ball, or like it's just, it could be very intense and maybe a little too much at times. So maybe that's where you need to exert your own willpower with the Emperor at, you know, having a say in how it's done and how it unfolds. Again, your free will, but at the Emperor level, it's you're in charge. You will have a say in the matter. And again, I want to emphasize that as much as you'll have power over this, you also won't. Like, there's something else, because you're meant for this, so you're gonna be like sort of caught in it in a good way, right? You're gonna have to roll with the punch. This is crazy fame. I'm telling you. So I'm using the deal, the sponsorship deal, like this, you know, like usually athletes will sign up. Nike is a clothing and shoe brand, right? I think that clothing has a huge bearing here. It's really, really, really strong. I'm not saying it's the only thing that makes you famous. It might be the doorway, or I mentioned baby steps earlier, so I have the word step, like the first step, like the first, I'm not sure of the word I want to use here. It's difficult to express, and yet I'm sure it's really simple. I'm just having I want to be clear. A stepping stone. I knew it was simple. It's a stepping stone, maybe. And there could be something else behind it afterward, right? And then maybe even more. You do have the multiple streams, right? So it'll definitely be an empire with different streams of revenue. Or if it's, I mean, for sure it's revenue, because I mean, you might be doing 5 different things, right? But they're all out of, okay, how can I say? These things are meant to generate money. Even if you do them out of passion, I can really sense that it's the purpose of even putting in your energy and your time. For you, Leo, it has to pay off financially. And so if there's no money and there's no more passion, you will switch, you'll find something else, and you'll create a different stream. I love this reading. Beautiful. I'm so happy for you. So if you did like it, give me a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe, and mostly come back. I'll see you soon. Take care.